Alright, so I was about a minute into it, but I wanted to show you guys this because the way that they're doing it is very detailed so far, and wanted to reminisce about it and talk about. Let me zoom in and give these people credit because I'm gonna send them this link to this video. So, all right. Anyways, because for some reason I just randomly went to YouTube, typed in Will to Colorado, and this popped up, and this was from a year ago. So, yeah, I wanted to reminisce, talk about Will to Colorado since I was physically there. I remember it pretty well, even after all these years. First time I was there was 2004. Later November, December. And, of course, I ended up going out to California. And that really put me at a huge disadvantage. And then ended up going out to New York in 2005. So, I have a huge story to tell about what happened from my years 2003 to 2010. I could tell you a lot of things that happened. I could tell you where I was, who I met, what phone I had, what computer I had, what I would do during the daytime. I mean, I remember a lot of it, and it's like all those memories just flood you so hard, and so it could be overwhelming. Just put it that way.
We are on a mission to learn about the history and geography of where we live by visiting every town within driving distance. We live in Pueblo West, and once per month we're going to venture
They live in
out
Pueblo
and experience
West.
the great state of Colorado.
I knew someone that lived out in
one town
Pueblo
at a time.
West.
It's October 2021, and today we are visiting
Oh,
La Junta. La Junta is
wow.
one of the oldest.
All right, let me pause this here. Actually, I want to give them a like. Definitely give them a like for doing this. And let me see if I can increase the resolution too, if it needs to be. Yeah, definitely had to be. Alright, so that's Highway 50, where those train cars are at. That's a rail yard right there. Alright, let me see here. I think that's that Five and Dime store right there. Okay, that's the bank right there. Believe that would be the old movie theater right around here. Bamboo Panda's still there? Are you kidding me? Wow. That's crazy. They're still there. Yeah, Kathy told me that when they came into town, a lot of the cats and dogs started going missing. Oh, there was hardly any strays on the street because of that. And I believe it too. First Baptist Church is on the same side. It's just about another block or so down. Wow. Okay, so where's the hotel at? The hotel should be hotel might be no. Hotel should be somewhere around here. I forgot the name of it. The Hunter Motor Lodge, maybe. Yeah, the owner's an asshole. Wasn't like that before though.
Because it was located at the intersection of the Santa Fe Trail to Mexico and the Trapper Trail to the gold mines. La Junta was officially incorporated in
This is it right here. That's the old Five and Dime store. That place used to be bustling and hustling back then. Yeah, there's a courthouse and they have a DMV in the back. I had to go to court there for a pretty serious crime in December 2006.
The city now has a population of 7,300, down 1,000 people from its peak in the 80s.
The jail there is horrible, but it is what it is, you know. It's 4 people to a cell, tiny shower, old jail.
It lies an hour and 20 minutes east of Pueblo West and is roughly halfway from our house to the Kansas border.
Hour 20? Why didn't he just give the mileage? It's like, what, 60? I want to say from the Loaf and Jug in Pueblo, where the Greyhound used to be, to Downtown La Junta is probably 67, 68 miles, something like that. It didn't take Kathy very long to come and get me and drive back. Wow, yeah, I didn't realize how far she had to drive back and forth then to come and get me in 2006. So it was early 2000, so I was there 3 times. I was there in 2004, early 2006, later 2006. So yeah, I was there 3 times separate, twice in the same year. And yeah, it's crazy.
My family and I began our journey at the usual time and had an uneventful drive to the city using Highway 50, the busiest of several highways that
Otero Junior College is right around there.
We parked at the corner of First Street on Santa Fe Avenue and were pleased to find plenty of open spaces completely free to use. We began walking south on Santa Fe and had a chance to really...
Yeah, you can walk around La Junta quick.
We noticed very quickly that most of the buildings were outdated and empty with 1950s architecture.
I know that building there. It's always been empty. What is that, a police car? Yeah.
Because land has always been cheap here, it is far more cost effective to leave a building in disrepair and rebuild elsewhere than it would be to perform upgrades. This echoes throughout the empty stores, knowing that only 2 miles west, between La Junta and Swink, is a large modern shopping center with a Walmart and dozens of chains. We visited...
Actually, the Walmart is still part of La Junta. It's going out towards it's going out towards Rocky Ford. Rocky Ford's about, from Walmart to Rocky Ford's like 8 miles, I want to say. And then yeah, because in order to catch a Greyhound, or the Trailways bus, where they called it, I forgot the name of the. I forget the name of the bus back then. It wasn't Greyhound exactly. It was something Trailways, I think. Yeah, you had to catch it at a video rental store then. You had to buy the tickets at a video rental store. I don't know exactly where it is now, but they could have changed it by now.
Sunday, and we understand that most businesses aren't open on the weekends, but the downtown area was deserted and we were the only people walking around at all. We passed 3 or 4 blocks of empty storefronts, then ended up in a historic residential
Let's see where that's at.
neighborhood. The diversity in the houses was amazing. There were fully restored Victorians next to abandoned cottages, next to modern apartment complexes.
I know that apartment complex.
And the street was lined with beautiful...
I lived just a few blocks away from there at the time.
All of the houses were on lots 3 feet taller than the street and sidewalks, presumably to prevent flooding from the unpredictable summer storms they can get here. We also noticed that all the storm drains were angled to face the flowing water, even changing direction with the hills, presumably as further flood control. La Junta is unofficially the 2nd warmest location in the state after Lamar, with summer highs frequently reaching 100 degrees. It's not uncommon for it to be 10 degrees warmer than other cities in the state at the same time. Although technically located in Tornado Alley, La Junta sits far west and is generally too close to the mountains to develop the spinning pressure changes in the atmosphere. For this reason, tornadoes are always small and short-lived, having never caused extensive damage to the city before. The Arkansas River flows past the north side of La Junta, and this is one of the lowest elevated parts of Colorado. If you travel north, west, or south, you will notice the elevation increase drastically. However, if
I didn't notice it, to be honest.
You will find yourself at the
I honestly had no idea.
3,300 feet.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Associated Charities right there?
If you travel north, west, or south, you will notice the elevation increase drastically. However, if you were to head east, you will find yourself at the
317. La Junta Associated Charities. Police stations right here and fire stations right there. I didn't know about that, to be honest. I never paid attention to it, but yeah, used to go there, as pretty much as often as I could when I lived at Walt's Book Stop, and they would give me a bag of food, like peanut butter, crackers, peanut butter jelly, bread, juice, milk, things that could be consumed pretty quickly and not have to worry about going bad or anything like that. Wow. That That was the worst time of my life right there, to be honest.
State low point of 3,300 feet. We made it to Lahana City Park and were immediately impressed. At 2 blocks wide and 4 blocks deep, it is the largest park we've been to yet, and with a pond, skate park, and several different courts, it was also the best dressed. The playground is located at the very center of the park, and the kids immediately ran from our side to go play on what they've called the best one yet. It was easy for us adults to find a table covered by a shade tree, so we sat and let the kids play while we talked. We began walking north on Colorado Avenue back towards First Street, which is...
Oh, I spent plenty of days and hours in this library right here. Plenty of days and hours there. Especially during the winter time to stay warm. Wow. I remember right in that parking lot too. I met with someone named Hallie. She was driving a pickup truck. I was trying to stay with her for a while just because I was staying on the street. I hadn't, but she was a little coy with it and everything, and then the city hall's right here across the street.
The main north-south road in the town. It is on this street that we can see Lahana's worth to the surrounding area, with the Otero Junior College visible far south. The medical center is seen to the west.
There's a city hall and the police station and all that right here too. I forgot why I went there. I went there for some reason. It's supposed to be
And the newly constructed municipal center coming into view as
well. No, that's not newly constructed.
We passed several more blocks of houses before getting back into the business district. Looking down 3rd Street,
bank's still there.
To see a few blocks of office buildings with various real estate agencies and banks in them, as well as the old Fox Theater, which is still operating to this day. It
wasn't operating then. I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was temporarily shut down when I was sleeping in the back alley right there, in a refrigerator box at that.
One of only 2 movie theaters in the entire county, and it brings to life an otherwise low traffic area. We have been looking for an open restaurant since arriving in town, and finally found the Rail Yard at the corner of First and Colorado. It was a bar and grill playing the Bronco game when we walked in. The walls were adorned with railroad memorabilia, and we ordered some bar burgers, which came out a bit dry as the cook had paused to watch the game just a little too long. The Broncos did lose that game, and we had finished our food, so we stepped outside, and the bar's name became obvious as we were face to face with the Lahana Rail Yard. The massive depot is one of the only remaining Amtrak stops in the state, and is also one of the main hubs for BNSF and Union Pacific.
I actually slept in there quite a few times too, on the bench, to stay warm during the winter time, especially during a blizzard. I had no choice.
Now with full stomachs, and made our way back to Pueblo. All of us had been to Lahana several times before, and still had our expectations blown with how quiet the city was and how amazing the park ended up being. We weren't able to do any shopping because there were no open businesses, but we still had a great time learning about one of the more major... All of us had been to Lahana several times before, and still had our expectations blown with how quiet the city was and how
I had to go back.
The park ended up being.
Right there's First Baptist Church. And there's the church office right there. Pastor's office is right there. At the time, it was Pastor Paul Gleason, and he helped me with staying at Walt's Bookstop just a few blocks over this way. Yeah, that's a good church right there. It was called First Baptist Church at the time. Now it's a different name now though. And they have a YouTube channel too. I have to go back and take a look and everything. But yeah, yeah, a lot of memories there. A lot of memories.
We didn't do any shopping because there were no open businesses, but we still had a great time learning about one of the more major cities around us. Next month, we will be visiting a town that none of us have spent any time in before. Another junction town whose entire history has been dedicated as a place to rest for travelers making their way into Colorado and beyond. We hope you join us when we visit Lyman, Colorado.
I've been through Lyman. Yeah. Wow. I want to go back to Colorado and I want to visit again. If I ever go to La Junta, I don't know. I would assume the warrant is squashed by now, but I mean, I didn't go was supposed to be on probation, okay? And, I had no choice but to leave the state of Colorado. I didn't have a choice. I had nowhere else to go. I just went back to Buffalo because it's the only place that I knew very well that could help me get back on my feet really, very quickly. Colorado was pretty tough to... I couldn't get food stamps while there in Colorado. I didn't have an address. I was homeless. I mean, it sucked. So, yeah, wow, I was like more than like 10 years ago now. What, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's like 15 years now. Has it been 15 years exactly? Yeah, it's been 15 years now. Wow. That is crazy. 15 years have gone by that fast. Holy cow. And I still remember everything to this day. That is crazy, everybody. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.